So I think if you have any questions, you can let me know regarding that. So some adjustments need to be made in this, app with related to its UI design. It's not a perfect application as of now. So this all these UI elements have to be properly aligned and should be like layout must be designed in a better manner so that the users can access the app with a better like efficiency, and they also would like the appearance of the app. So you can add some logout options also. You can add another option to go to another screen, and also you can add other options to add more contacts into the contact list. Currently we have a set of contacts in this list, so we can add another button in here that can enable us to add additional contacts into this view. So that kind of extensions can be added into this application, as I think you also can try to build this same application. So in the meantime, I'm hoping to give an assignment related to this recycler view. I will give that as soon as possible. And also, I think with regard to the examinations, you will be having the examination on 19th of February. And for that, I think I will give you a model paper before the end exam. At least 1 week before, I will give you, like, I hope to give you an end exam model paper. So that I hope that you will be able to get prepared for the exam. As of now, I'm hoping to give an exam paper that allows you to use Android Studio also while you are doing the exam, so that you will be doing some activities related to Android Studio during the exam. And also you will have some writing uh, tasks also. You will have to write some answers to some questions given in there. Anyway, I will provide you a model paper. From there, you can get some idea about how you can, get prepared for this exam, and also like what are the types of questions that are there in the exam. So there could be practical questions which you have to do using Android Studio, and also there will be some other questions which you have to write answers to in the paper or in the LMS. You can I mean, in the LMS, in a software version, you can write the answers. Also, those are the things I expect you to, I mean, do. So, uh, anyway, like, since the time is not limited, I will like try to give you like the model papers and all the rest of the, materials for this module. At least like via videos, and I will upload them into the LMS, and then we can, try to get ready for the exam. So I think only next week we have to get ready for the exam, and so I think some sections are still to be covered. I mean, especially sections related to, like understanding the life cycle of an activity, which is not a big content, but I will cover that also maybe within 1 hour session. I will like create a video, and then I hope to like upload that into the LMS. As I said before, your exam will basically like constitute of MCQ questions as well. There will be some MCQ questions, and there will be some written, I mean, questions with some questions that require you to give answers to them uh, in written format or using like Android Studio. So I will ask from examination how that could be facilitated, and I will get back to you. So during the exam, you're expected to bring your laptops any kind of resources like that to use Android Studio. You should have Android Studio installed in your computer, and you should be able to do the work asked from you during the exam. So I hope you will be able to do that. And if you have any concerns, you can let me know in the chat. So there will be some MCQ questions as the first part of the paper, and there will be some questions related to what we have discussed so far in the module in the next questions. And whatever we have covered in the class will be coming to the exam. So that is it regarding the end exam. So since this is a 3 credit module, you will have the paper for 3 hours. That is regarding that. So you will have, I will give you a model paper, so you will be able to like practice out. So where you have to write answers and also create some, do some activities using Android Studio. So, that is regarding the end exam. So I think I hope to, cover the content as soon as possible from my end. If it is not possible, then I will try to upload at least a video regarding the content that I am not having sufficient time to complete. So with the Google sign-in based authentication, we have developed some app in the last week. So in today's class, we are going to like implement an app which has the ability to store some data that we enter into the application into the Firebase platform. So for that, we'll be using we will be developing, I will be showing you a demonstration of a certain application. So I will be developing that with you. I will first run it and I will try to obtain what is happening in this application. So I think this is the application. In here, actually, some UI elements are added, which is used somewhere else, sometime else. Once I have some items in this screen, so I will be first going to this plus sign. In here, I can upload some data, upload topic data, and so on. Okay, so I can insert a photo by clicking here, and then I can enter some data regarding the photo or something related to the information that I'm going to include in the database. So this application can be something like application related to me storing some memories of some memories that I want to store, and I just give some information related to that using this interface. So I can store that information both in this application in the phone. So in the phone, I can store all the information that I enter here, or else you also can store the information in the cloud server, which is the Firebase in this case. So I can store in the Firebase also, and I can see the data getting stored in Firebase. So today we are going to see that. So we will be like storing the data in the Firebase. So for now, I'm not going to add any image. If I can like add image, I will do that also. First I will say nature or something. Then I will go and I will like I will say some So I can say, so I have put some data related to this, and I can put some images also. So I can include some images of my choice. After that, I can uh, enter this. So I need to like select some images. So I will select some image from my phone. So I have selected an image from my phone. So this is the image that I selected. So based on that, I have put the details related to that image in these slots. After that, I can save that, and then I can observe this. Uh, so it is shown as saved, and I will be able to observe the update that has happened in the Firebase console. In the Firebase console, I already created a project related to this. So from there, I can see the newly updated information. So if I go to the database that I have in the with regard to the project that I have currently having, then I will be able to see the data related to that. This is the updated data that I have. So I have this data that I have updated with the title and the language and the description. So these are the data that I just entered, and they are available now in a real-time database in Firebase. So the data that I just entered into the application have come to this cloud server. So I can observe the data, and I can view the data. The images I can see under the storage folder. In the storage folder, I can go to images, and then I can observe the image in here. Sorry, image that I have uploaded is this is not the image. So this is the image. So based on the time of modification, I can observe like which image has been uploaded. So in here it says 723. This is the image that I have uploaded. This image has been uploaded sometime before, and this image has been uploaded at another time before. So I can identify the images from this storage folder. So the database will hold the data. So from here I can see all the data included by the user. So the data, this data that I enter will be we can be accessed, and I can do further processing on this data using this database. I can access this database, and then I can maybe filter out the data that I want and get some useful information from this database and the data inside them. That So that is what we are going to do today. So I will share with you like a Word document in the LMS, and then you can follow the steps in there to build this app. You need to have Android Studio, and you can start a new project and try to build this app. After that, after completing some steps, I will let you do the rest of the work, and I will maybe share with you the whatever the necessary materials you can build on your own. Apart from that, I will also give a small quiz regarding Google sign-in process and Firebase in today's session. So in the meantime, if you have any questions, please let me know. So the Word document link I will put in the chat. We'll also upload that in the LMS. The first steps of creating the projects will be on like getting the necessary layout files done. So you can, I think, create a new project and then you can start, creating the XML files required for this app. So you can form the necessary XML files. So I will be creating an empty views activity where I will name this in a like with a name that I can understand what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to store the data in Firebase real-time database. So store data in Firebase. Yeah, I could. So once you have created the project, you can form the required XML file. So the first one you would be able to update the color like .xml file. So color.xml file is available in the resources folder in this right left directory. In the left directory, you have values, something called values in the resources folder. In the under colors, you can get this, section. You can put the colors into this section. So any questions up to that point? So today I think I have uploaded like most of the resources in the in this document. So you can use that and try to do as I do in here, and then you can follow it, and then you can just like today we will just get it prepared, and then I hope to explain in detail as well afterwards. So in the XML files we have uploaded this code, right? Android manifest file. So after that, the next step is to, I hope you have done up to this point. Okay, so is there any person who needs more time, right? So in this first one, we have got this colors, and we have put the colors in the colors.xml file. So in here, as the first step, we go to this values folder under resources, and then we go to colors, and then we put the colors in the colors.xml file. That is the first step. The second step was to go to themes and go to the like put the uh, features of the application in here, and the theme is defined in here. So themes.xml file we have updated. Thirdly, we updated this we added a new drawable file by going to drawable folder. Right click and then go to new drawable resource file. In here, lavender underscore border, and then we click OK. Then once we create that XML file, we can put inside this XML code, which gives us this corresponding shape. So the shape is of lavender color. The outline of the shape is of lavender color. Its shape is curved on the round bottom at the edges. So this is what we are using as one of the um, kind of shapes in our application. So whenever we want that shape, we will call this. The ID that is given, the shape name that we have given is rectangle. So these are the features of that shape. So afterwards, we have gone to the Android manifest file where we have put this code that tells us that we are giving user permission for external storage reading. So that means that we are able to read external storages using this application. Up to that point, I think we have completed. After that, we have to go and complete the progress layout XML file. So that one, we have to create under the drawable folder again, right? So progress layout, we can create under the layout folders. So progress layout, we will see how it looks like. Progress layout. Progress layout.xml. I have created that under the layout folder, and then I can see the design of that in here. This is the design of that progress layout. I'm not sure whether it has been updated. So if there are any errors, it will be shown. Some errors are there. Maybe because of that, I cannot see the exact, image of this properly, because should be that this progress bar should be shown. Progress bar should be shown. So that is missing. Moving ahead, I will go to this one. So this activity XML file correspond to the main screen, or the first screen that we are going to access when we start the app. So this one has to be included as another layout file. So I'm going to create another layout file with this name. It is already there, so I will go and update this. And this is how it will look like once I have done that. It will show this, like a search bar button, search bar space. So this is how it will look like. So the name at the first screen will look like this. So once I have, I think, the shown you before, that also I think had this search bar. The search bar was for another purpose actually, but in here we are going to just upload the data to the Firebase. In cases we are going to show all the data in our own application, we will be having a list of data. Out of those data, we should be able to show, the required data out of the list. So this is what we have in this layout file. This is what we have in this layout file. activity upload.xml, also another XML file which is layout file. So I'm going to include that also into this project. I'm going to create a new layout file, then activity upload. In there also I will go to the code. I will put the code that you're seeing in here. So this is the corresponding design of that code. This is the code and this is the corresponding design. So this code shows some errors, some red errors. So one thing is says upload activity file is not there. Another thing is upload image is not here. So upload image can I can put into this uh, so I will once I have uploaded it to that drawable folder and I don't have the error anymore. So this image file I will put in the chat also. So this image file I put in the chat, you need to use this image, upload it to the drawable folder and rename it as upload image. Okay, otherwise you will get this error. The correct name should be included. You need to put the name that you have put in here under the drawable folder exactly in the code as well. So if there are any other errors, you need to check those. This says that there's no file code upload activity. We will be making that in the near future. So we will. I think this error is not something that we need to consider. Up to that point, all the XML files I think have been now inserted into the Android Studio. So with all these XML files, what we are doing is we are actually including all the layout designs into this application. So whatever the design you want, you can first create design in the XML files. You can create the designs in the XML files either as a code or a design. Using design skills you can create design, and then you can try to see whether you can obtain the logic behind the application. So you can build the logic in the Kotlin files. So in here there's some error for these resource files. So basically for these we have to get these resource files or the drawable files from the vector images that we have in Android Studio. So Android Studio has some clip art images. It also has images. So we can go to the drawable folder, go to vector asset, right? Go to drawable folder, go to vector asset, and there you can see this block. After that, you can go to clip part and you can clear. Then you can see this. Once I have done that, then that image is available in here. I see baseline clear image. This is the XML code related to that image. This is the image. So this is like something clear image. So if you want to clear some information that we have already entered into a certain bar or a text element, we can remove the whatever the data using this clear option. So this is the XML code related to that. Similarly, we can add different vector assets using this vector assets available in the Android Studio itself. So another thing is the search one, right? So we can add that also in here, vector asset, then search. So once I do that, I don't get any error in here. So now I have to remove this one, this error. So in here the error did not go because I have to add the IC underscore. So if I want to rename it, I can right click on the file and I can say refactor and then say rename. With all that, now we have already obtained an XML code which does not have any errors in that. Similarly, we have to check for all the XML files and check whether there are any errors or red marks somewhere so that we know that for sure we don't have any problem. In here, we will fix this once we go to the Kotlin files. So this one, no errors. We go to the main activity file. We can now go off of the XML file. In the main activity, I have given the logic or the code of the, code that we are going to implement in here. So the necessary libraries are given in the first section, first phase. Then we come to the logic phase. So in the logic, we are creating recycler views. Then we are checking the recycler view. So many activities are going on. So we will take this code as the main activity code. In here, you have to make sure that you have the package name in here on top, right? I haven't given the package name because now in here I haven't given the package name on top. The reason being the package name gives an identity of your own project. So whatever I give does not really matter to you. You need to create your own project and put the package name on top. Only then the necessary interaction will happen with the app and the libraries and so on. So you can put your own project on top of this code. So my package is this one at the moment, which is com.example store data Firebase in real time Jan 31. So this is my name. So that's respective package need to be installed in the application to be taken advantage of. If there are some red colored words or something like that, you can check with you can import some libraries related to that. For that, you can follow whatever the suggestions. suggestions they are giving us through the Android Studio app itself. So now that error has already gone. So in here, I have to put the correct, project name in here. So that project name I will put in here. Otherwise, you will get an error. So in here, data class is the error in here. So I need to create a data class. Once I add that, the error that was here went away. So some errors are there in this one. So mainly the errors that show in here are related to the adapter classes that I have not yet created. In here, I also have to create a new upload activity Kotlin file so that those things remain. Any questions up to this point? So there are different, code files and multiple number of code files in here. So we have done up to this point. Now we have to do this upload activity logic. Up to that point, did you follow or did you get lost somewhere? If you got lost somewhere, you can let me know. So if you want to create a new activity, you can go to the package in here, go to new, go to activity, and directly you can say which activity you want to start. So upload activity, and then that's it. Once it is done, you can insert your own code into this. So whatever the libraries you want to import, you can put in there. Next, we can make the Kotlin file my adapter, and then that one also can be added as another Kotlin file. Okay, so some more XML files are required to create this adapter class. So recycler view item is required for this. I will include the recycler view items XML file also into this Word document. I will add that XML file code. Then you can add that into your XML codes. In here, I will add it. Recycled item in there. We get the design like this. Okay, so you have all those things. Now recycle item in here. Recycler item. Recycler. So it should be renamed. Now the error is gone. So we need a library which is used to remove this problem. So we need to include that in the library. So include three main library files dependencies into this um, module Gradle file. So in here I will add that, right? Add dependencies. So now I think um, I can get the error out. Then I will be able to complete this entire code if I do have this code, which is another activity file. I'll add those files in here and then I will complete all the necessary Kotlin files. Okay, so I think you can add all the Kotlin files. If you have a activity that you want to add, a new activity, you can always go to the package and then go to new, and then you can go to activity here itself and easily create the activity in here without having to um, We'll remove this. We'll delete this. Then again, I will create that activity again. I will put the code of this when in here into this update activity into that file. Okay, so those Kotlin files can be added. You can add those things when you have the time. So, and then you can complete all the Kotlin files necessary. Next important thing is that we need to go to the tools, go to Firebase, and go to these options that are here, which are like under real-time database. You can see this option, right? So you have to go to tools, you have to go to Firebase, right? And then you can go to this real-time database. In there, you can select these options and you can connect to Firebase and connect your application to this Firebase. We can start a new project. So with this name, so So, so in here, uh, under this real-time database, you have connected to the Firebase, then you have to go to the second step and accept the necessary changes in the libraries and any other features, so that your app can be integrated with the Firebase SDKs. Your app can be integrated with Firebase. Then you go back and then you can go to this cloud storage for Firebase. So in this today's session, we're going to be using this real-time database, and we're going to store our data in there. So we need these two features in the Firebase for our today's application. So we will do the necessary things to get the two steps done, and then you just get out of that, and then now you can actually go to Firebase console and go to Firebase console, where you can see your latest projects. So this is the project that we are working on. In there you can go to build, and you can go to real-time database option. So in the real-time database option, you can create a new database. So you can send the data from your app to this database. So we will go to start in test mode, enable. So now this database has been created. It's null. There's nothing in this one. Then we can go to storage. That also you can initiate. So the storage is also initiated. Now I think all the necessary things are initiated. So we have initiated the real-time database. So the real-time database means that the database where the data that you send will be stored, will be shown. And then the storage is where all the images and such kind of files are stored. The any kind of files that we upload to this database can be seen through the storage folder. So as of now, there's no any entry in this database. There are any errors, you will be able to see all those errors in the code. So if there are no errors, then we can run and we can see whether there are any problems, whether there are any log messages available to be seen. So the minimum or target SDK level should be some value that they suggest. So you need to update according to that. So so the errors must be corrected. So what I was doing is that so you need to check where the error is and you need to update that in the themes file. So if there's some kind of package you are having in your project, you need to update all the places where the package name is mentioned with the most updated package name. So you will ask like from where I can find the package names. So in all these Kotlin files, you can see the package name on top in here. So you can use this and you can put this anywhere the package name is mentioned in the codes so that you get the correct information regarding the you don't make an error in here. Also, there are some other errors in the XML files. So once those things are there, you cannot run the application. So until you resolve all these errors, you cannot run the application. So that is the kind of the next thing that we need to consider. So for these, if you want to remove these errors, you need to add the necessary resource files that we require into these folders. So in here, it is required to have a format list bulleted. So in here, I want to add a new vector which has a bulleted list. Bulleted list. I just add it. I keep the color of the clip part as white. Then I finish. And then if I still have the error, that means the name is wrong. So I can rename it. Refactor, rename, right? Rename. I see. Then the error will go off. Then I want to add something called the edit. So edit I can add in here, and that also I can rename. So likewise, I have to keep doing that until all the necessary resource folders files are added. So after all these errors, we can actually run this. So the errors related to the vector assets were removed. There could be some errors further. Each and every error has to be addressed and has to be solved in order to get the application running. So the application is running. Now I can add the details I want. So as earlier, now this one is running, so I can add the images that I want. So I can add an image if I prefer. So nature, I will say, or field trip to Idurutalaga or something, I can say, to the mountains, and can give some description. So once I give that data should be updated in the database file console, Firebase. So that data I need to be able to see in here. So in that, this is what I'm seeing. The data that I just entered, it's available under this title called Android tutorials. So that title also can be changed if we want by updating the title to something else in the code. So that also can be done. For the moment, we just keep it as it is. So we just keep it as it is for the moment. And so we can see all the data that we uploaded into the app are currently now updated in the Firebase as well. And then you can go to storage. Storage, you can see the images that I have uploaded available in the storage folder. So this is the kind of the like update that we can get once we connect the Firebase project to the Android app. So we can get an updated data in the Firebase project. Any questions up to that point? Okay, so I'm going to give a small quiz to you. Hope that you can remember what we discussed in the last classes. And this is regarding the intents that I have covered. And so I will share with you some, like the project that we have discussed in the last class with regard to this intents and how we can go to different screens using these buttons, and then likewise. So once we go to new screens, we call that intents, using intents. So so in order to enable the intents, we have different options of commands that we need to use. So in here, if I go to this code, so I have to have some commands, such as some specific commands to go to new activities or new screens. So in here, I have to, like, if I go to the sign in page, first page, sign in page, then I have something called the on activity result function. On activity result function. Uh, and also I have function called start activity. So these are functions that are like um, uh, used very frequently to get the intents or to get the operation of intents. So if I go to the So start activity is a command which is used to initiate the intent, right? So intent, we call intents some an object that is used to store the information of the current page that will be required for in the next page, the next screen. So intents are used to store some information, and it's basically an object. Then we are giving this object into this command or method called start activity. And once this command is initiated and it's compiled, then we can go to the next screen, right? So start activity inside brackets intent is used to initiate the intent, right? So to start a new activity, okay? Start a new activity. In here, we can directly go to the next screen, okay? And there are other commands like this, which is similar to this, but in here there's another command which is called start activity for result. So start activity for result. Start activity for result means that in that case, we will be expecting not only the intent, but also we will be expecting some result once we run this command. Result means we request some kind of code, some kind of specific signature related to the related to the um, related to the new screen that is getting accessed. So all these, I mean, all these things point to the fact that start activity for result wants two outputs. One thing is going to the next screen, and also the other thing is it requires a result, some resultant code or something, a code, let's say. So a start activity for result gives two outputs, not only one but two, going to another screen and also receive a certain result, right? And there's also another thing called on activity result. Okay, so this is called as on activity result. On activity result. So that means like this is a method which has like certain on activity result. So in here also you can see these commands in use, right? I hope I will try to increase the font. You can see the code. In here, we discussed about the start activity intent command. And then we started about the start activity for result command, where we gave two inputs, right? The intent that we want to go to, and also another code, which is also required for this kind of a method. Which is start activity for result, means it's expecting a result. Then this command, which is on activity result, means the activity that is done once you receive the result, right? So we discussed about getting a result. So that getting a result, if you get a result, what happens after that? On activity result. So on activity result means what you do after you obtain the result. So you will get some result, some kind of input data related to the request code result, code data, and so on. So all those information can go in here. Multiple information can go on this on activity result. In there, basically, um, you will be uh, receiving a certain result from a certain activity to which you have already gone previously, right? So you will be receiving a certain result to a certain result from a certain activity, right? You will be receiving a certain result, basically, right? You will be receiving some result and you will be executing something. You will be receiving this result from a child activity, right? We call that child activity because in some cases where you will be having some sign-in options, right? In here, in this app that we developed in the last class was having a sign-in, Google sign-in option, where you go to the sign-in authentication and then you come back with certain result. So in such kind of cases, this kind of a method will be activated where you can obtain the result as a certain code. So that code will be received. So on activity result is some kind of command like that, which works only if it gets a code or a certain result. So on activity result, uh, this command will be successful only if the correct code was received. If you receive a wrong code, that means a wrong result, right? So if you are in here, we are calling on activity result. Okay, so on activity result means we are receiving a certain result. That result is actually a code of some sort, and that code has to be the correct code. Otherwise, this command does not successfully, run. Right? The output of this command will be failure, or it will show as a failure if the result that was received was wrong result, or a unvalid or invalid result. And also, so those are the things related to the different commands that we are using when we are discussing about intents, right? And also when we discussed about the data classes, we have also discussed about something called data classes, where you store the data of certain information that you are showing in your application. So related to that information, you are creating objects that has certain properties, and these properties are basically should be reflected on every file that you are created in the app. In order for us to do that, we can use this word called serializable, and that using that word we can enable this data class to be available on every file in the app, every basically Kotlin file in the app. So using this serializable word, we can make sure that the data is available in all the Kotlin files uh, in the application, and also available between different activities that use intents. So that is basically regarding all the kind of new things that we discussed about in the last week. So anyway, we will move ahead now. So I will share a small quiz for you to try out, and then you can then try to see whether you can complete that, and then we will. So if possible, please join to this quiz. I have only 5 questions. Okay, I will start. So what is the purpose of start activity command in Android? So start activity, what does it do? Correct answer is second one. In here, we don't look for a result, because in this command, it is only start activity. If it has start activity for result, then only we can say we are expecting to receive a result. Otherwise, this is just like a command that will uh, go to the next intent or to the next screen without checking anything, right? Hope it is clear. So it will be clear to you once you look at the code as well. So I will go to the next. So this is the command start activity for result. So this is different from the previous. Yeah, so the correct answer is you are expecting a certain result once you initiate this method, right? So you are going to check some parameters and only then you are going to forward to the next screen. So this is about the on activity result. So what you need to do, I mean, what is happening in here in this command is what is asked. So the correct, yeah, so the correct answer is the fourth one. So you are actually, like you are doing something once you receive a certain result on activity result. So basically, like what happens once you receive a certain result, and that result will be actually returned by a certain child activity. So what I mean by this one is that if you are having a Google sign-in application, right? You're having a certain Google sign-in application in here, like once you are going into this sign-in option, sorry, in here you are going to sign in option, right? Once you are clicking this, the on the right, so this on activity result command is getting initiated there. They're checking whether the the I mean the whatever the code that it receives is correct or not. If that code is wrong, then Google sign in won't work and I can't go to this next screen. Since like now I have come to this next screen. So it's because the on activity result command has um, failed, has successfully has been completed. So that is the uh, I mean what has happened. So if I'm getting a successful code from this, if I'm getting a successful code back from this command on activity result, then I can go to the next screen, right? Then I can go to this second screen in here. Otherwise, I cannot go to the next screen, right? So that is what we have to see. So having some internet issues. Go ahead. So this on activity result method indicates whether the operation was successful or not. So they are asking what is the parameter used to check that. So the result code, yeah, they are checking the result code, and if the result code is like, so if the result code is the one expected, then operation is successful. Otherwise, the operation will not be successful. So the final one is, what is the purpose of using serializable word in the data class? Okay, so the correct answer is this second one, which is allow instances of data class to be used between activities using intents. So which means that once you use this serializable command, so let me show you that. Once I use serializable command after the data class, that means this data class values, it's like it's attributes. It's the attributes of the data class. So the object and its different properties are like accessible by each of the different activities that we are proposing in this application, right? So different intents are there. So those different intents must be able to access this data, right? So that data should be accessible by the different intents. So that is possible using the serializable keyword. So that is it for today. So with that quiz, I will, end today's session. So before leaving, please mark your attendance. I will share that attendance mark from with you. Please mark your attendance if you can. So thank you for attending. If you have questions, you can let me know. If you don't, then you can leave the class. And thank you so much for attending today.